Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessing be multiplied on all you brethren, pushing this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the 144,000. All right, and the rest of the men, women, and children that will receive mercy from the Lord in these last days. I'm the brother Dama Kibar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Wah Yahweh Shai. All right, as you can see, I got an article from the People's Voice titled UK begins rolling out digital IDs for citizens to prove their status. And you see, and like we told you, this is happening over there in the UK, which, as we know, the UK and those particular countries over there are facing a huge migrant crisis. All right, which the same thing you see happening here in the United States is an out of control migrant crisis. All right, and what do you have Trump proposing to do when he comes into office? One of the first things on his checklist is a mass deportation of illegal immigrants that have been unvettedly let into the United States. And now you see the UK is going to begin rolling out digital IDs for people to prove their status. Now, and this is really a snare and a trap that is being set for those citizens, and eventually it's going to be over here in the States. All right. This snare and this trap ultimately to bring in this digital beast system. All right. And they're just using these migrants and all of the violence and the crimes that they're committing, all of this back and forth, all of the infighting, the division, that these migrants are bringing ultimately to bring in this new form of, to bring in this NWO, this new world order. And it's going to basically force everybody to have to, prove that they're real citizenship by, putting all of your information and these digital IDs, this biometric system, so that everything that you ultimately, buy and sell or everywhere that you travel basically can be, tracked and, and be put on the grid. And basically it's just going to give these elites total control over everybody's life. And we know eventually it will lead to the MOTB. And the same thing is going to happen here in the States. Hey, when Trump starts bringing in, when he gets into office and he starts this mass deportation, it's going to force basically, them to bring the digital IDs and the new form of citizenship. You're going to have new proof of citizenship, because now what people can fake, they could fake an ID. They can, you can get illegal paperwork, fake fraudulent, social security card, a fake driver's license. People that make these things still exist out here. You still have a lot of migrants that's been in this country with falsified paperwork. But when you have to digitally, show up, get your biometrics, your picture taken, you have to actually, prove who you are via this new digital beast system. Is going to be nothing that you can fake or nothing that you could, you're going to have concrete proof to show who you truly are. And what better way is for them is to have all of your biometric, markers, so to speak, or measurements so that you can be honestly confirmed you are who you say you are. This, like I said, they're going to have facial recognition, your fingerprint scan, your iris scan. They're going to use artificial intelligence and AI to be able to, certify, certify your authenticity of who you truly are. And this is going to be another reason of, and this is why they're bringing a lot of these migrants in here to bring this division, this chaos, so that they can ultimately roll out this new digital ID, which will eventually lead to the MOTB. All right. Sorry for that long rant, but I'm gonna read some of this article and just pull out the facts, man. But we know ultimately this is going to lead to the MOTB. See, it says the British government has begun rolling out digital IDs in the UK, and there's particular things in this article that's going to show you that this is going to eventually lead to the MOTB. You see, this is going to be your only way in the future to verify your citizenship, man. And if you don't verify it, you're going to be locked out of society. And if you don't have your digital ID, if you don't get down with this system, they're going to show you in this article, there's particular things you're going to be restricted from doing, just like the MOTB eventually. See? So this is just all prerequisites and a precursor to the MOTB. They're slowly going to get you people into this beast system, whether you want to accept it or not. And they're going to tell you in this article. All right. And it says the British government has begun rolling out digital IDs in the UK, insisting that citizens require the digital identification in order to prove their status and gain access to convenient services. You see? So it comes, it comes with, if you don't get it, you're not going to be able to get particular services, man. And we know that's in the future, that's going to be your CBDCs, your ability to travel, your ability to even, literally be here as a citizen. Hey, and who knows, once eventually, if you don't want to get this, hey, who knows? I'm just speaking as a man. And when I start doing this here in the US, let's say if you don't want to get down with this new digital ID verification status, hey, they could probably deport you, man, or lock you away indefinitely, or hey, man, just get rid of you. How about that? You see? And this is how draconian, just how dire things are about to get. See, because these elites have it to where it's either you're going to get down with this new world order or you're just going to be casted away. You see? It says to gain access to convenient services. It says the Labour government is introducing a digital ID program targeting 250,000 military veterans under a veteran card initiative. You see? So now they're going after the military first. You see? It says the dystopian plan is being pitched as a means of simplifying access to services. You see, that's what it's all about. If you want this, you're going to have to if you want particular things, you're going to have to initially bow down and voluntarily, get down with this system. It says such as NHS healthcare, housing support via the Op Fortitude program, job opportunities, discounted public transportation, and other benefits. You see, now who wouldn't want to continue to receive these services, man? And you see, and like I said, as of right now, hey, if I was in the military, as long as they're not talking about putting that MOTB inside of you, hey, this is just something that you would just have to do, because it's not ultimately the MOTB, but I'm just letting you know this is how they're going to lead you eventually into the MOTB. You see, because now they're telling you if you don't get these digital ID, you won't have these particular services. Well, they can just do the same thing when it's time for them to put that thing inside of you. They're going to threaten to take away these services and probably even more services. You see, so it's like a trap and a snare that they're setting for everybody. On one hand, it's to ensure that we know that, they're only British citizens. You can be identified. So what does that do for all of these migrants and those people outside of not being citizens of that country? Okay, maybe that'll leave them out in the cold. Maybe that could be a cause for deportation, or maybe, however it's going to go. You see, but, this is all being pushed as peace and safety. But we know eventually how that turns out, you see. But this is the main thing, all right? It says the dystopian plan is being pitched as a means of simplifying access to services such as NHS healthcare, who doesn't need healthcare, housing support via the Op Fortitude program, job opportunities, discounted public transportation, and other benefits. So, so basically, if you don't get this digital ID, if you don't sign up for this system, then you are not going to have access to these services that everybody needs, man. You see how they're going about this thing? And we know it's going to be the same way with the MOTB. Well, it tells you that, man. All right. It says, however, critics see the rollout as a precursor to implementing a broader, controversial digital ID system for all citizens. Of course, that's what they're doing. You see? And like I said, the way that they're going to ultimately get people to do it, regardless whether they buck up or protest or say they don't like it, is once they tell you that, hey, regardless of whether you like this or not, if you want these particular services, this is what you got to have to receive those things. So either you're going to get it or not. And eventually, what are you going to do? You're going to have a decision to make. It says they claim veterans are being used as guinea pigs to normalize digital IDs, a concept many oppose due to privacy and surveillance concerns. You see? Well, of course, but hey, that's what these devils are trying to do. Either you're going to get down with their MOTB system or you're going to be killed. You're going to be separated from operating and dealing in society, from having access to particular services, from being identified as a citizen, not being able to go to the grocery store, not being able to buy food, because eventually this is going to be the means of how you're going to acquire these services, man. All right, so let me get this precept real quick. I don't want that one. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 12, it says, "For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes are taken in an evil net." And that's what this whole digital ID mark of the beast system is. It's an evil net. You see, that this devil is going to implement whether you people want to take it or not. And Trump is going to do the same thing. Like I said, when this whole him doing mass deportations happens, they're not going to be able to, off face value, distinguish who's an American citizen and who's not. See, this is why they brought in Chinese nationalists, people from, Venezuela, Guatemala, Mexico, people from India, people from Haiti, basically people from all over the world has crossed this border under the Biden administration. And America being a huge melting pot, it's kind of hard just off face value to tell a so-called Negro American, so-called Black American from a Haitian American that crossed the border. We all have dark skin. We all have similar type of hairstyle. And just off face value, you can't just say, oh, well, he's that and he's that. That's not how they're going to roll. They're going to look at everybody here as a potential foreigner or a potential threat. So therefore, as they're rounding up a lot of people, I'm pretty sure they're going to bring this same scenario here to the States. Look, just get with your digital identification so that we know, who is who and who's not who, and that's going to come with some form of peace and safety. Because I guarantee you, if Trump starts doing this mass deportation, a lot of hell, shit is going to pop off, man. These people are not going to just go willingly. It's going to cause sedition. People are going to be rioting. People are going to be upset. They're going to be fighting against the military doing their job to deport, these migrants back to where they're going. And it's going to eventually force, this type of digital ID system here in the States as well. All right. So like I said, just because it's happening in the UK, it don't mean it's not going to happen here in the States, because this is a global agenda of these elites. All right. It says, as the fishes are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in a snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. You see? And this is going to fall suddenly upon the United States as well, because we know this is ultimately the agenda of these elites. It says, adding to the controversy, former Prime Minister Tony Blair has advocated for digital IDs, linking them to improved immigration control. You see? Like I said, so, this is part of the many reasons why they brought these migrants here, too, was to be able to force this type of agenda, But not only immigration control, but population control. It says, critics point out the irony of Blair's involvement, given his prior policies that many argue exacerbated global migration issues. The debate underscores growing public apprehension over the potential long-term implication of digital identification systems. Here's the point. It says, Labour MP Siobhan McDonough stated that digital IDs are inevitably coming. See, they're inevitably coming, meaning they're coming regardless, because it's all part of the MOTB system. So whether you people want to accept it or not, these things are coming, because ultimately prophecy has to be fulfilled. And like I said, hey, if they just, when they start rolling out these digital ID programs, if they want you to get like your driver's license in a digital form, or particular information about you on a digital, on an app or a digital wallet, something that you can have on your phone, hey, we're going to have to do that, for the time being. But we know when that MOTB comes, when they tell you, look, all these services, all of these digital IDs is going to be, conveniently placed inside of this micro C-HIP, and we're going to put it inside of you. Hey, that's when we know all bets are off, because we know that that's the MOTB. That's when you got to, we're going to have to walk out on faith, become those pilgrims on the earth, and totally detach ourselves from this system and being, integrated into the system via this micro C-HIP, man. All right. But like it says here, hey, these systems are inevitably coming, not just for immigration purposes, but also for keeping NHS records, benefit entitlements, and other reasons. You see, the plan is of a wider effort to introduce digital IDs to the general population, with the government attempting to normalize the idea despite public concerns and opposition. You see? And we know it's going to eventually lead to the MOTB. This is where all roads are heading, and it's inevitably coming, as they have stated. And what did he say? They want it for what? For what did he say again? It's not just it's wait, where is it? Yeah, to keep it for NHS records, benefit entitlements, and other reasons. You see, this is where everything is headed. This is Revelations 13:16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And we know that mark is the word charagma, man. And we know that a part of the root word of charagma is charax, and charax is grapho, and grapho is where they're going to store all of the information, your benefits, your social credit score, your CBDCs. Everything will be inside of that micro CHIP. You see, and that's going to be, you know, your badge of authenticity into this devil's new world order system. You see, this is where he's going to have all the information, all the, you know, everything he needs to know about you, you know, inside of that CHIP, man. See, this is how he's going to be able to track and trace and follow you and track everything that you do, everything that you buy, all of your access to these different services. Your ability to be identified as a citizen of the New World Order will be upon your micro CHIP, man. And if you take that, that's you making a vow and an oath to become the complete property and slave of Esau, Edom. And in doing so, if you Israelites take that, you will be destroyed by the presence of the Lamb and in the presence of the holy angels via the nuclear destruction, as the Lord says, all right? It says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. Isn't that what he's saying? These digital ID requirements are for, so that you can have health care, have benefits, have discounted train tickets for those soldiers they're running this this digital ID program on. It's in order for them to have it, they're not, there is going to restrict their access from services. You see, it says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. See, so this is where all this is slowly heading, leading us down. That's why he said these digital IDs are inevitably coming, same as the MOTB and this digital beast system that this devil is setting up. It's going to come here whether you people want it or not. But like I said, we know it's all leading to prophecy being fulfilled. And the final step is going to be it being in the form of the charagma. It says, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So, hey, we see it, we see where it's going, man. And, hey, like I said, it's inevitably coming. And we know it's going to come because prophecy has to be fulfilled at the end of the day. But we see where, the snare and the snares and the traps that are being rolled out to bring everybody into this new beast system, man. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. All praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We're putting the spirit in me through this lesson. Lord willing, you were edified. To the next one, shalom.